Okay. Can you guys hear me and see the screen? Microphone closer because I want to sit back. Giving people a second. Hang tight. All right. Kind of a boring week so far. And why is that? I was talking in the room today about how small this weekly candle is so far, and it's already Wednesday. Ignore all my doodles. It's just not a big week. I guess people are still sleepy from Thanksgiving. So not a whole lot going on. Also, VIX is back down low, or what did we close at? We closed at 1609 today. Just nothing too crazy going on right now. We can kind of look at what I put on the watch list. Let's see what's going on. So ARM was an inside week and up, so that's in force and going. And that triggered yesterday and continued today. Hasn't hit magnitude yet. CCJ also has triggered the inside week and up. Problem is we just have like no help from the market because the market's just not, like the indices, it's just not doing much. Actually, CCJ looks good for tomorrow. Two down, two up to re-trigger the week. MU triggered the week on, I don't remember, Monday. Tuesday it was still okay, but today they reversed it. So if you were in, you would have had to have exited on the 322, which did hit its magnitude. But now for tomorrow, potential 2 down, 2 back up. So I also like MU for tomorrow. What else did I say I liked? Shoot. CCJ. Volunteer. This was a really nice one from the weekly watch list as well. Oh, I lost my Broadening formation line. Inside week and up, hit magnitude 1, still going. Well, today they tried to take it down. Somebody asked me this morning in chat, they were like, do you think we could go outside week? I said it's possible, but very unlikely. And you can see what happened today. They tried to go 2 up, 2 down, and then they started reclaiming the previous day's range and went outside day. So there are buyers in Palantir. And I've been seeing a bunch of bullish, like, I don't pay attention to this, but if I happen to see it, I'm always kind of like, ooh, like that's one of our setups. And Palantir is one that was having a bunch of like bullish sweepers and whatnot from, like, if you follow like Theta Warrior, he posts a lot of that stuff because I don't follow it. But like I said, I'll happen to see it on my feed sometimes. And I'm like, ooh, I like that. So Palantir, we like. Uber, we're in also. Uber triggered yesterday. Same setup, bottom of the Broadening formation here. It's even better. We did take out this low back here. And then what? We reversed. Inside and up. You'll notice all of these inside weeks are basically the same setup. They are an inside week at the bottom of a potential broadening formation. And that's what we're getting. So, Uber, I personally took today 30% of my profit off there, and I'm holding like 35% for here. That's actually the weekly target. And then if it keeps going, I'll sell the other 35% there, or maybe I'll hold it all. I don't know. My stop is in profit no matter what. So I can just let it play out. So I'll either make a little money or a lot, but I won't lose any money, which is nice. Because I'm not playing this week's contracts, I'm playing next week's contracts. Hello, everybody. Hi, Rolo. So my expiry is, what the heck was it? 12/12? Yeah, 12/12. AMD. AMD was the same setup. Potential 2 down, 2 up. Just kind of struggling a little bit. Semis have been a little weak. But for tomorrow, we like it back up to re-trigger the week. So we're going to add that to Thursday. CVX was also a weekly setup at the bottom of a broadening formation. Just technically still in force, just not much oomph. And they tried to go 2 down, 2 up today and just went nowhere. So not loving that one. Microsoft had some news. Microsoft potential outside week. So they tried to go 2 down, 2 up, could not stay above last week's highs. So when that happens, we look for them to come back in and go outside week. We've got 2 days left. Totally could happen. So your broadening formation would look like that. Would be low, high, potential new low. So a compound outside bar, basically. I don't think I've had enough caffeine today. I feel like I'm talking like Bill Nye, the science guy, or the red eye, dry eyes, red eyes. What is that? If you're on the YouTube stream and not in our Discord, you should check out our Discord. Not many people here tonight either. I feel like just everything is just sluggish this week. I can talk about the broadening formation we played on ES today. I know it looks crazy with all these lines, but it'll make sense when I get into the charts. We'll do that. Why not? Oh, here. First of all, bigger broadening formation. This is why we're targeting new all-time highs because of our broadening formation, right? High, low, new high, new low, new high, new low. Can't stay below the previous low, so where are we looking to go? We're looking to go to the other side. And there's so many ways to visualize this, but again, I tell people, actually, I'm not sure if you guys have seen me do this. I'll do it for you. I tell people, as stratters, your eyes should be drawn to pivot highs and pivot lows, and you're looking in the beginning for higher highs and lower lows, right? Is that right or backwards? I don't know. A broadening formation, I don't know which way the camera's facing. But anyway, so your eyes should be drawn instantly to here. How do I explain why not here? Oh, because that's a higher low. I don't know if that makes sense, but your eyes should be drawn here and here. And then from this pivot high, you're looking for a higher high. So anywhere up here. From this pivot low, you're looking for a lower low. from this pivot high, you're looking for a higher high. So anything up here. Then down here, you're looking for a new pivot low, right? Then connect the dots. Boop, 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 boop. This is how I teach the doodle method because people get so caught up in the Broadening formation lines that they forget what it is that they're doing. And this is all we're doing is identifying higher highs and lower lows. We're identifying an actual broadening formation. So we're trying to come up here. Major target one there, but the major target is up here, right? New all-time highs. And then if you follow the Ninja Trader stream packs, we joke because we're all not, I mean, most of the Ninja Trader crew is significantly younger than Pax, and me not so much. How old is he? 57? We got like 16 years apart, so he's not like significantly older than me. But anyway, we have a joke. We call him Uncle Pax. Anyway, that's his level up there, 69, 80. So we're looking to, continue to all-time highs. And we have a monthly hammer trigger right there. That's that pink line, which is 69.0950. I know this looks crazy over here because I have a ridiculous amount of 60-minute lines marked. Anyway, let's go to the 60-minute chart. I will show you now what I was going to show you, which, if you look at this, you're going to recognize it. It's a broadening formation I'm going to show you. So, here we go. All right, first thing I want you to notice. All right, because say, the trading day hasn't opened yet. What time did this candle happen? 9 a.m. Anyway, let's say, the market hadn't opened yet. And what's the first thing that like really stands out to you? I'm going to genuinely ask you guys this question. What is the first thing that stands out to you when you look at this chart? Whoever has the courage to answer the question and is right, I may have a gift for you. Don't be afraid. TBJ. Yes. Mother bar problems is, I'm assuming, what you mean. TBJ. What's your Twitter handle? Yep, Ski Trader, that's correct. You're new, I recognize your name. You're new in our Discord or to the scanner or something. The radar watch list. TBJ1127. I don't think I can reach out to you on YouTube. If I can, I don't know how. All right, well, let me know what your Twitter handle is. But yeah, so you see this big giant red candle, and then you see how all of these candles are completely inside the big candle's range. This is what we call mother bar problems or a compound inside bar. So, it's like, well, what do you do? Well, you want to wait till one side of the mother bar gets taken out, and then you want to look for reversals back the other way. So what happened was they puked at 9. And it's important that you mark your levels, like especially before you open, look at the chart, mark your levels, mark important levels, and then watch what happens. I'm going to even go to a smaller time frame. Okay, let's. That looks ugly. Oh, that's my big broadening formation. I can't delete that one. All right, anyway, here's that big range on a lower time frame, but it's still, if you're blending candles, you can still very clearly see. Again, as a stratter, your eye should be drawn to swing highs and swing lows. So that, if you blended those 3 candles together, that would be one candle. And then all of that is stuck in there until right here. So they take out the mother bar low, aka anybody who's been long since 11:30 yesterday morning. So anybody who was long and they're like sitting through all this crap, they're like, oh, I'm still good, oh God, everything's fine. Then they take out these stops, which kind of causes a chain reaction of stops. So these guys get taken out, these guys get taken out, these guys, these guys, these guys, and these guys. So everybody gets taken out real fast right here. So we just wiped everybody out, right? So that is when you're at exhaustion risk because you just stopped out all the longs. So there's nobody long anymore since yesterday at 11:30, right? You have to know who you're playing against. So then what? Then we look for reversals. Now, I can tell you for a fact because we were talking about this on stream, there was a very nice 15-minute reversal, then there was a 30-minute reversal, then there was a 60-minute reversal. I don't know about the 5-minute. We'll find out. There was a 5-minute reversal. It just wasn't very clean and didn't go anywhere at first. So we're going to stick with the 15-minute chart. Oh my God, I hate when I do this to my charts. My personality type doesn't like it. I was always the kid who had to have like a clean desk at school. Otherwise, I couldn't like focus. Okay, so it's where people get tricky. This is where experience comes into play. So if you miss the short, right? And you're like, oh, I want to get back in. I want to get in on the short. And you decide to take this 15er down because you're chasing price because you feel like you missed it, which you did. If you're only looking at this and you're not looking left, you're not, you're going to miss a very important piece of information, which is the chart did its job. It really has no reason to go any lower because you just stopped out all those people. So even if you did try to short it, you can try to short it, that's fine, because there is another pivot down here. So it's not to say that it couldn't have gone down there, because it could have, but it didn't. So as soon as it went 2 down and then failed, you'd have to get out of that and then prepare to flip the other way. And we were telling our people we're trying to go to the other side of the range. And if we do that, we're going to trigger the inside day and up, because we were a double inside day at this time down here. But knowing about broadening formations on lower time frames, this was a pretty low risk entry to potentially go up and trigger the day, which we did do. Just didn't get a lot of follow through. Again, the market's pretty sleepy. So anyway, your long 15-minute trigger was there on a 2 down, 2 up. Where are you targeting? Here and here. So that high and the previous day's high, which is that white line. Okay, then if you go to the 30-minute, you had what? You had an inside and up on the 30-minute. And it kind of just chopped around in here for a while, but that's what happens in a slow VIX environment. Then you had an inside 60 and up, which did not do its job at first, but it also did not reverse. Trigger 60. And eventually we went up and we hit our targets, and then they took profit. This is why I have an insane amount of lines on my chart, because there was too big of a gap on the daily chart. So I wanted more levels. So I looked left, like we teach you, and we got a bunch of these little target clusters, which I love. So you'll notice that we just tapped into the beginning of them at the end of the day, but we've got, a target cluster here. There's a cluster here. There is a major-ish target there, and then a cluster here. And then we got the monthly trigger here. So we were trying to go up there. Just depends what happens. Look at that. Ugh, I love it. It's just like a bunch of stacked stops. So, kind of just depends what happens overnight, where we open in the morning. I am still long my Uber, and I have some SPY calls, and I think that's it currently. I was in a bunch of stuff on Monday. I got out of most. I think I have a headache actually. I mean, it's the same thing. An inside bar break, it is the same thing. But can you get out of it is the question. Are you close enough to get out of it, or do you have major mother bar problems? Trying to think of an example of one off the top of my head. Nothing's coming to mind. Apple. I don't even know what Apple did today. We do trade inside bars all the time. But when we don't get out of the mother bar is when it becomes a problem. Um, Apple's still good from this entry. However, tomorrow, if you go two down, that will be a reversal. I mean, it's up at all-time highs. We haven't had any we had corrective activity right here. So just depends. Tomorrow, expect a reversal down. Doesn't mean it has to hold. It could trigger down and then go outside day because we have full time frame continuity to the upside. It especially matters what the market is doing tomorrow. If the market is bullish, then more than likely, if this does trigger down, it's going to go outside day. If the market is bearish, it's likely that Apple goes with the market, you know. Inside bars with context also help. Like, look here, like here's a good example of something. We don't need this anymore. All right, you see this inside bar? All right, so we have an inside bar. But what happened before the inside bar? Let's use our brains. So we have an inside bar, right? But let's look to the left of the inside bar. What happened? At first, we had a 2 up, 2 down. Did it hit magnitude? Which means it's at exhaustion risk. So it means it stopped people out right here. Okay. So seeing as how it stopped people out, we just made a lower low to that daily low. What would we be trying to do next? If we reverse, we'd be trying to go make a higher, we'd be trying to make a higher high. So when you get this inside bar reversal, this is a broadening formation. We just took out the lows, right? We took out those lows. So anybody who was long on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday and holding just got taken out, right? So now we know that. So we know that the long people got taken out. So now what do we want to do? We want to get back in. And the magnitude becomes to make a new high, which it didn't do it on the first day, but it did hit daily magnitude on the first day. So this is not simply just like an inside bar. Like you don't just want to like trade every inside bar really, I mean, you want it to kind of have a story like this. So like it stop people out, or if it can trigger a higher time frame reversal, or if it can reconfirm a higher time frame reversal. Like DraftKings today. I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so let's say you were in from here and you knew that this was your new target because that was a new all-time high. Okay, so you could be in until you get a daily reversal, which happened there. So then you'd get stopped out here, right? Because the day reversed on you. Yes, it ended as a 3, but if you're trailing on the day, that's where you get out. So what does your position look like? So the goal was to just get there, which isn't that great, a 1.8 to 1. But if you're trailing, that becomes, you know, a 2 point, well, actually more because you're going to raise your stop, right? Because we're trailing on the day. So at first, your stop becomes here, which is 5.2 to 1. You don't know that yet, but as long as it's still good, you're still good. Then you hit the target, this day closes, now your stop is up here, so now you're in profit no matter what in trailing. If you did, I mean, ideally you take some profit off here, or you wait till you get like a 60-minute against you to take profit. However you want to do it, there's so many ways to do it. Everybody trades differently, everybody is on different time frames, everybody can't, be at the computer all day. Some people have to work all day, some people can't look at the hourly chart, so I can't speak for everybody, but that's like kind of like what you do. So yeah, I don't know how they get that, but 29,900 to 1. Is it that many pennies or something? That is the disjoint channel, which you don't need it. What you need to know is when you're at exhaustion, which happens there and there. So does this inside bar make sense? Now, if we go to a lower time frame, like let's here. Let's go to the 60 and find the broadening formation right there, right there. So look here. That was the level, right, from the daily. We took out that low. What do you see? What do you see? Two down, two up reversal. Boom, you're in. So actually, this is why the strat is so awesome. Actually, your RR is a lot better than you thought if you caught this. If you had an alert set or something for this low to get taken. So then now your original trade idea, just to make new highs, is a 5 to 1. Okay, and then to trail it, shit, to trail it, look at where that entry it even is. That is at the bottom. That line, that's the 60-minute here. That's the 60-minute reversal entry. And why can you take it? Because all the higher time frames are green. You're in an uptrend, like they're buying Apple. 60-minute reversal after stopping them out. And then if you're trailing 6.7 to 1, but more because then you'll be at break even. So like, you know, as much as you can get up there, 1,000 to 1, whatever. Once you're at break even, it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's cool stuff. And I didn't even, the thing is, I didn't even know that there was a 60-minute reversal, but I did know because that's just how it works. So if the daily takes out its target and then we start to retreat, there was a 60-minute reversal for sure. There can't not be. There just can't not be. That is what has to occur. Oh, let's talk about Bitcoin. Hold on. I gotta fix my charts. I can't live like this. Because Bitcoin is a fun one that we were wrong about, but we technically not wrong about, but I'll show you. Hold on. But reversed. So before it was an outside bar, it was a two down. Before it became a two down, we were short. Ugh. I made a tweet about this. So this was the inside week. The hot inside week high, inside week low. Okay. When this daily candle broke, this is what we call a domino trade, where we're looking for a lower time frame actionable signal, such as a shooter or a two up, two down reversal that could trigger the week. So, knowing all the things that we know about the strat, we know that this is a potential level of exhaustion because it's last week's low. Okay, so this actually worked out. So if you took this short and took some profit, like that's pretty good. You know, that's $5,100 or 5% in a day, right? So take some off or don't, or keep your stop at break even, you know, whatever you're gonna do. However you trade, again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Now, let's look at what happened on a lower time frame after we triggered the week down. Because I can almost guarantee there was some sort of reversal. So it's just a matter of finding it. So there's our exhaustion level. And then you can even see we took out that level, not that level. So we took out the weekly low and that guy. So let's see what was what. Oh, I still have replay on. But looking at a 4-hour chart, you have an inside and up reversal. So if you were short and you didn't take any profit, this would be a good time to exit because you know you're at a potential level of exhaustion, right? Last week's lows, this pivot. So anybody long using this, or this as their stop just got taken out. Or they're just holding a loser, which, whatever. Let's turn replay off. So here's your reversal, your exhaustion reversal on the 4-hour. Let's even go to the 60. Let's see if there was something else. There was a double inside and up reversal, which might have stopped you out on the next 60, but then right back up. So let's turn replay off, leave. Let's go back to the 4-hour. So knowing about last week's range, and this started to like blow through this range, what do we say is most likely to happen? Other side. The other side of the range. If this was last week's high and this was last week's low, this is going to blow your guys' mind. And we just made a lower low and started to come back through the range. Where are we going? Okay, watch. Low, high, new low, new high. Is that a broadening formation? It sure is. Phew. The live didn't end. Huh, I made this an unlisted video. That was an accident. Okay, you guys aren't as impressed as I thought you would be. Anyway, outside week. You can see it. So if this is last week's range, that's last week's inside bar. Then this week, we took out the lows and we made new highs. So that is your outside week. Outside bar to last week's bar. So people get like annoyed with us because they're like, you said it was going to go inside week and down. Yeah, but as long as it doesn't reverse, yes, we would expect it to keep going down. But if it reverses, we have to flip. So it's not that we're always right, it's just that we always know what's happening because the charts clearly show us. Oh man, I had somebody real. Ooh, I can tell he's lost a lot of money trading. He was not nice. We got an inside 12 hour on ES. Currently a failed 2 down on the 4 hour. However, it still has an hour and 45 minutes left. Inside on the 2 hour. Inside on the 6 day. Not a lot going on overnight. So Bitcoin got a new monthly candle, and then that reversal flipped the candle from red because it was red below here, from red to green. Still an inside. I still want to see 74 taken out. This guy. But that's not happening this week. Only way it can happen next week is if we go 3-2 down. That's the only way. So we can't get down here unless we break next week this week's lows. It'd be impossible. So just think logically. We're not guessing what price is going to do. Price could do a bunch of things, but it can't go down unless it goes down. But we could next week, since we're at 3 this week, next week we could just be an inside week, right? Or we could be a 2 up week. I would actually prefer that and then get a 3-2-2. But I'm very bossy with the charts. Like, give me what I want. I'm not even trading Bitcoin, so it doesn't really matter. But, and then that Browning formation was fire. And then it expanded below here. Bad hair day, hence the hat. All right. Those of you in the chat who are from Stat, I will be streaming tomorrow. Alex has something pop up, so I'll be in the rooms tomorrow. And then I'm going to hop off. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and we will see you around. Good night.